Good morning, my friends. Thanks for coming back. Good morning, everyone. How are you all this morning? I hope everyone's fine. Happy Sunday. This is August 4th. Oh my goodness sakes. Is it August 4th? Yes, it is. And we have just completed week 31. The year is just skipping by. Hang on one sec. Taking a swallow of my dose coffee. It's made with it's a mushroom coffee, and it's made with a coffee extract, and it has all kinds of good mushrooms in it to keep your brain alive and keep your body alive and all that sort of thing. So anyway, I've been doing it now for 7 months, just over almost 8 months, and I really like the effect. The name of it is Dose, DOSE. You can go online and look it up. It's a decent price. It's about $1 a day, and it's nice. It's nice. One of my subscribers, Barbie Daily Rural Life, is her channel, and she started using it, and she said, "Oh, I really like that." So anyway, take that as for what it is. What's the purpose here? The purpose is to lessen our trash and to improve our soil and to become more self-sufficient in a world where it's probably not a bad idea. Excuse me, got a hairball there. We're going in a direction that's I never thought we would be going in, but it seems like government is getting too big, and that we the people need to take a little more control over our life, but that's for a different subject. Anyway, what are we doing here? I'm challenging myself to taking 2,000 pounds, just my goal. Last year I did 1,000 pounds and I came up to 1,900 and something. So this year I upped my game a little bit and said, well, let's make it 2,000 and see if I can even make it. Because after you clean your filing drawers out and you clean out all your cupboards and closets and attic and everything else of all the papers and stuff that you probably should be throwing away on a regular basis, once you get all that out of the way, then you kind of go, do I have anything left? So this year has been a little bit, let's say, more of a challenge. Next year I'll be so squeaky clean I won't have it. But anyway, I'm challenging myself to taking 2,000 pounds out of everything. My kitchen, we're saving our Kleenexes now that we use back in our soil. I'm using it to dry out my castings if they get too wet. They can go in the compost. Little things like that. You go, well, gee, how many tissues do I use? You would be surprised. I'm amazed probably more than anything else. And I've gotten Rick to cut down on a lot of the things that he uses. He has switched over to the microfiber cloths when he's cleaning his bathroom, and he said, well, I'm probably saving about 7 paper towels a week just on that one thing. Wow, okay. So, find your little niche if you so choose. I don't make it mandatory. When I watch these different things, somebody's showing up for the town hall, the council, what have you, and they talk about how our landfills are getting more fullest, and I think, well, there's so many little things that you can do. It's just so simple. It really is. You just aim yourself. Instead of putting it in the trash, you put it in this bag. And then that bag goes, instead of out to the curb, that bag goes to your soil. It couldn't be easier. So anyway, we are already in August, but this was a split. This was a split week. We were halfway through July and halfway through August. And this week we did, this is week 31. We actually ended up doing 47 pounds, 9.4 ounces. And if you ask, what is it that you're saving, Peggy? I've lost my page again. I think I have. I don't know. Maybe I haven't. I lose it and then I find it again. I go, what did I do with these things? All right, never mind. We're going to tell you what we save. And that is all the things that are our fruit and vegetable peels. As you can see, I take those and I take them frozen, and I can add those to my worm bins if I have a lot of bedding, a lot of shredded cardboard here, and I'm trying to, you know, get the worms to break it down. I'll add the fruit peels. I freeze them first because it kind of, you know, kills that any bad bacteria, I guess. When it thaws out, then it starts to, the bacteria and microbes start to get into it again. And if you have dry bedding, then it just kind of like draws out that liquid, and then the worms can come along and eat the microbes and the bacteria. So it's like a little movie going on. And if you run into a situation like I did, where I have worm bins that are right close to my screen out there on my back porch, not only did I have irrigation, that it was a windy day and a lot of that irrigation spray kind of came in, and it got both of these oblong worm bins called Jack and Jill, got them a little too wet. And the castings were already mature. They really needed to be pulled out of there, and I just didn't have the time. We're in the 90s and it's very warm. So what I did, and have been doing, is using my gently used tissues and paper towels and layering it like you're making lasagna. And those paper towels and tissues that are dry, a little snotty, but they're dry, is just gently pulling out the liquid rather than me trying to compress it in any fashion and hurting the worms. So it was, what I also did was I took the fruit and put it in my dehydrator, and then the fruit came out looking like what do they call it, like leather, fruit leather or something, those roll-up things that you give the kids. Anyway, instead of pulverizing it and making all this new food that the worms had to break down, I wanted the worms to be able to, the castings to be dry enough so that the worms could kind of like move about and move over to some new bedding that I'm going to put down. So this fruit leather, I also lasagna layered, and it is all of a sudden drying in all that moisture, and it's making it kind of loose and rubbery so that I can just scoop that out of there and the castings will be drier. Hopefully, that's my hope. Anyway, so that was my week. Fruit and veg peels, coffee grounds, coffee filters. I'm doing bulbs right now. I have some caladium bulbs. And you could take those coffee filters, put a little worm castings or a little something in there, stick a bulb in it, and put it in the ground. And the bulbs, once they root and everything, would really start to break open that coffee filter. I also use them in the bottom of a pot to hold back the soil. So they do break down. They disintegrate very, very quickly. Um, you know, a couple months. Um, if you have anything else that you want to put in your compost, if you're going to trench compost, if you have worms, you want to use it in your worms. It would be any cereal boxes, any old cereal, flour, breads, crackers, any of that, anything that's in your pantry that you go, this doesn't smell quite right. I don't think anybody's going to want to eat it. And you know those things that are in your pantry that you go, this doesn't smell quite right. I'll wait till Rick gets home. Let him smell it. You know that stuff. Anyway, any of your liquids. I always forget this one. If you have canned vegetables, the liquids in those canned vegetables, we consume those. I mean, it's safe. But it also, a lot of the times, has a little bit of the sugars from whatever vegetable it was. Even if it was just water that they used, it's going to leach out into that. And so I pour that either over my my bedding, if I'm doing that, fluff it with the liquids, or I put it in with my. A lot of times, I'll just like my porch plants. I'll drizzle a little of that on there, because if there's microbes and bacteria in your soil, whoa, gives them something to eat, doesn't it? My other little tip is anything like if you're sweeping. My friend Tony Walsh over at R&W Homestead, I think, I'm sorry, I've forgotten the name, but it's Tony Walsh, and he always says, gee, you know, I never thought about that. We sweep the floor, and we throw it out the door. We sweep the floor and throw it in the trash. Sweep the floor and put it in with your worms, or put it back in a pot, or, you know, throw it outside. It's just going to the earth. The less we put in that trash can, the better off we will be. And if you saw what we throw out once a week, it's you know, it's that 13-gallon or 11-gallon trash bag, the white trash bag. We could probably use that for 2 to 3 weeks to get it full. I mean, it's a small amount. We could probably take it down even further, but we haven't gotten there yet. Anyway, all sorts of things. I save these bags. If I have to clip something, I bought these probably, I think I've had them for 20 some years, and it's a clothespin with a little metal thing on it. And I use that for all my clips. 20, 30 years ago, people were going, what's a chip clip? Maybe they were chip clips. And they started selling all the cute little plastic chip clips and how they looked so cool, and they kept everything. You know, I think I paid $1 for like 30 of them at the dollar store. I still have them 30 years later. Call me cheap, I don't care. Anyway, I take these bags, and if I have stuff, we've had fish. Something doesn't smell quite right. The one thing I started using it for is if I have one of those tuna pouches for my lunch over salad, even though I rinse the container, the little packet, if you put that in your trash, it's going to smell like fish, especially if you know you've got a few days of it being in your garbage. So what I do is I just stick everything in here. If I have bones that I want to use for later, I'll stick it in a bag like this, little chip clip in the freezer. If you're, say you're buying chicken and you have chicken skin that you don't want to put in your trash until the day it's going out, this is a great way to do it. And then you don't use one of the freezer bags that you've had to buy. Less petroleum products. So all of these different things are doable, they're simple, and they just take you getting your body going in that direction versus that direction, and we'd be better off. I'm just saying. So anyway, what you came here for? 47 pounds, 9.4 ounces. That brought our total up to 1,125 pounds, 13.1 ounces. So we're over the 1,000 mark. We're over the 1,100 mark. I'm not ready to ask anybody to guess what we're going to get to yet, but anyway, next week is another week. It will be, we're working now on week 32. So with that, I hope everybody has a great week. Nothing special going on. We went away last weekend for our anniversary, and we went to the Caladium Festival. I brought back caladiums, and that's what I've been doing this week, is little by little digging holes and putting in worm castings. I made a video on it, and also showed you what a caladium bulb looks like. I just got into a different variety, and it's interesting because when they sell a bag for what used to be $5, now $10, and they used to say there's at least 25 in there, now they say there's at least 12 in there. So the one variety is called Dragon Heart, and it's just beautiful. I hope they come up like I'm expecting them to. But when I pulled them out of the bag, the smaller ones were about like this, but the Dragon Heart, they were big bulbs. And what it is it's a cluster of bulbs, you know, like 3, 4, 5 little bulbs together. It looks like a little plate of some sort, you know, and you can see where they're connected. You could break those all apart and divide them that way, but I'm kind of planting them in as a big thing so that it kind of maybe has the energy to really put out a show. So anyway, that's my hope. And if you're interested in caladiums or what they look like, the show was really it was very nice. We enjoyed ourselves. We enjoyed it. It was only 2 days away. I mean, 2 nights away, 3 days. I hope you'll go back and watch. If you do, thank you very much. I appreciate you all. I hope you'll come back next Sunday, and I hope that everybody has a great day, a great Sunday. Pray for me if you will. I pray for you. Take care, and remember, garden what you've got. Bye-bye.